This means be nice to go. This means be nice to
This call may be recorded or transcribed.
And welcome to welcome to Discoveries in Health. This is Bishop Dr. Truman Burst from Good Shepherd Ministries. We're here today praising and worshiping the Most High God in the name of Jesus Christ, our Savior, Yeshua. And we're talking about natural remedies, as we always do. and thank you for joining us. We don't prescribe, we don't diagnose. What we do is we talk about natural remedies, and we discuss the latest research, information, all about natural remedies, so that people have more information, because our people perish for lack of knowledge. So that's why we're here. We're here praising and worshiping and thanking the Most High God in the name of Jesus Christ. And we're sharing information about natural remedies. We're not prescribing, we're not diagnosing, and we're not selling anything. You can sow into this ministry on the website, herbalhealthreview.com. That's what we do here, is we review the latest information and we discuss it. We talk about it. We talk about whatever natural remedies, natural science, whatever's going on. We're talking about it. We're sharing that information. And it's a blessing to do so. And I've been doing that now for over 60 years. The website is herbalhealthreview.com. My telephone number is 503-362-5899. More water. I see Angela in the room. I don't see Prophet Elijah yet. And we'll give him a few more minutes. My telephone number, 503-362.
I'm here.
99. You are here. Oh, I don't.
Yes.
Now I see you. I didn't see you before. Well, the Prophet Elijah is with us, and Prophet Elijah's telephone number is 334-868-3881. I'm going to say it again. 334-868-3881. And by the way, my email address is Truman at herbalhealthreview.com, just like the website herbalhealthreview.com. And when we're on that website, there's just a ton of information, and we'll share that with you later. But let's get an opening prayer from Prophet Elijah. Then let's get whatever thoughts he might have, the thoughts that he has that he's going to share with us. That's what we'll do, and then we'll ask Prophet Elijah to join us again at the end of the broadcast for a closing prayer. So don't miss the closing prayer. And Prophet Elijah, could you please lead us in an opening prayer here today?
Yes, sir. Proverbs chapter 10, verse 3. The Most High God will not allow the uncompromising of the righteous to famish, but he thwarts the desires of the wicked. The Holy Ghost does not flow through methods, but through men. He does not anoint plans, but men. Men of prayer. 1 plus the Most High God equals a majority. There is something to making a formal entrance. When Esther dressed to come before the king of Hypothyroidism, she wasn't just dressing up for a romantic dinner at home, as usual as that might be. No, she was preparing herself as an ambassador about to speak to a king on behalf of her people in preparation. Dr. Burst and I, Prophet Elijah, have come before an awesome king. We bring before him discoveries in health, Good Shepherd Ministries, Better Health Herbs, Word of Life Ministries, and the listeners who have joined in with us today. Father, we lavish you with our time and bring our petition before you. We ask that you hide us under the shadow of your wings. Protect us from all raging storms, that rumors of war and famine. You will meet us amid the winds, waves, and flood. Even when the earth trembles, you are above all these things. Pull out your word, which is a two-edged sword. Strike down our enemies, for they are many. Make them as ashes. Let us not be put to shame. There is no question, Father, that we see you as a diplomatic ambassador representing your clients, that is, as us who are your believers. Those of us who have the most successful and fulfilling prayer lives are not the ones who pray only when some problem comes up. Prayer is the pulse of life. By it, the doctor can tell what is the condition of the heart. Prayer is not something we add on to as a believer. It and scriptures are the primary roots by which our beliefs are real. How are we to hear from and obey him if we cannot understand what he is speaking to us in a still small voice? So be it.
So be it. All praises to the Most High. Thank you, Prophet Elijah. Thank you. Well, I know how you are because you are blessed contagiously, and I'm blessed contagiously. So I know how you are. So what's on your mind today, sir?
What's on my mind today is, what are you planting in the garden of your mind? You, as we speak right now, what are you planting in the garden of your mind? Now, according to Romans 12:2, it said, do not be conformed to this world, fashioned after its adoptable external superficial customs, but be transformed. We have to change by our entire renewal of our mind and by its new ideas and new attitudes, so that you may prove for yourself what is the good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High God, even the things which is good and acceptable and perfect in His sight for you. You do everything by faith. You plant seeds in the ground because you have faith that what you plant will grow. You sit in a chair by faith, not knowing or giving any thought as to whether or not it will hold you up. You turn on your light switch by faith, not knowing how it works. Everyone has faith in someone or something. Watch the outer words. Now it says in Scripture, but I tell you, on the day of judgment, men will have to give account for every idle, inoperative, non-working word they speak. For by your words you will be justified and acquitted, and by your words you will be condemned and sentenced. For sure, words are powerful things. The Most High God's words are so powerful that they actually create everything. But even the words of us humans can be so and do things so powerfully good. Solomon wrote in Proverbs 18:21, he says that death and life are in the power of the tongue. The negative thoughts and doubts and fears are the idle words which prevent healing or advancement in our life. Every day, by praying and meditating, you can realize and achieve the presence of the Most High God, divine healing, divine health, divine vitality, divine wholesome, by not dwelling on sickness or disease. Think of the good report, not the bad. Words can change our lives. Ponder on them before they are spoken. When will the answer to prayer come to pass? The story tells of a man who brought his child to the disciples to seek their help, but they were unable to cast out the demon, even though they had been given power to do so. Since the disciples were unable to cast out the demons, the man turned to Jesus for healing. It says in Matthew 17, verse 14 through 18, it says, the man came to him kneeling and saying, have mercy on my son, for he is an epileptic and suffers severely. I brought him to your disciples, but they could not cure him. Then Jesus answered and said, O faithless and perverse generation, how long shall I be with you? And Jesus rebuked the demon, and it came out of the child. He was cured from that very hour. After the disciples asked Jesus why they had not been able to do so, he said in Matthew 17:20, because of your unbelief. For surely I say to you, if you have faith as a mustard seed, you will say to this mountain, that disease, move from here to there, and it will move, and nothing will be impossible for you. The Most High God can work through us and accomplish great things when we have faith as a mustard seed. We can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. Today, we can begin by using the 1,400 products created and developed by our famous Dr. Truman, such as teas and tinctures and salves. This is the beginning to a better health, besides having written information that is truly valuable and easy to understand. The reason the old elements returned. There was a man that had been completely healed of ulcers, but later the condition had returned. Why? Some years ago, he had been in business, and his partner embezzled funds and had escaped to another country. He heard that his ex-partner had become very successful in business and also had become quite wealthy. This made him be very agitated and resentful. He was reliving the old over again, the reinfecting himself. The memory was not whether not forgotten or forgiven. The roots of resentment and hostility was still lurking in the recesses of his subconscious mind. And like the festering wound waiting to burst, send pulse throughout his system, his ulcerated thoughts and emotions reactivated his ulcer. It was explained to him that forgiveness of himself and the others were absolutely essential for his health and well-being, and that he would know when he had forgiven, because he could remember the incident and remain indifferent altogether, no feeling, nor worry, nor animosity. By living the scene or experience over again, he recreated the condition, and like the seed that recedes and grows again quarterly, annually, and biannually, in the same way, the old ulcerated state appeared in a new form. Then, after realizing what had happened, he decided to release him completely in his mind, wishing for his ex-partner all the blessings of life, and a healing for himself followed. His teaching stunned and dazzled them, for he spoke with penetrating words and great authority. Great astonishment swept over the people, and they said among themselves, "What kind of man is this who has such power and authority? With a mere word, he commanded demons to come out, and they obeyed." Luke chapter 4, verse 32 and 36. Why was Jesus' ministry so unique? Why did people respond with such amazement? Because his message had authority. Jesus had the power of choice, liberty of doing as one pleases. The Greek word for Zacharias says it means permission, authority, right, liberty, power to do something. From these definitions, we learn that Jesus' authority meant that he had great freedom and the liberty of doing as he pleased. He had the kind of freedom because of his position in the kingdom of the Most High God. All he had to do was speak his word, had to be obeyed by demons and diseases, the wind and the seas. That is true authority. Jesus delegated the same authority to his disciples and to us because we are believers. He gave us power and authority over all the demons and to heal diseases. He said, "Behold, I have given you authority to tread on serpents and scorpions," that include diseases. He has given us the authority to everyone who believes in his name. This is not licensed to do anything he wanted, but rather a freedom given to those who live their life under the authority. This authority produces audacity, boldness, and fearlessness and joy. Today, you do not have to be timid, weak, or powerless. We have been given the all authority as it is written. Be bold and find with faith. Put this amazing authority into action and concerning your wealth and health. Prayer. Father, open our eyes to the authority you have given us. I pray boldly for these situations concerning relationship, finances, sickness, bitterness, and unforgiveness. Thank you for the answer. I believe that your word is true. So be it. It is so. That's it, Dr. Bird.
All praises to the Most High. Thank you for that valuable information. It's so important. Yes, we have to realize what we're planting in the garden of our minds. Yes.
Yes, that's so true.
Yes, it is. Thank you again, Prophet Elijah. Telephone number 334-868-3881. And I hope that, and I know that you will be joining us along our adventure today in learning what we want to learn today. And that's how we do this. We've got one topic that has been suggested, and that's Horner's syndrome. We're going to talk about that, but let's go over to the rooms there on YouTube and on dial pad meetings, and invite anyone who has a question or a topic, something they want us to talk about and discuss, knowing that we don't prescribe, we don't diagnose. We're here discussing natural remedies and natural remedies topics, all about supplements, vitamins, minerals. That's what we're talking about. We're not prescribing, we're not diagnosing, and we're not selling products here. We're just talking about natural remedies. I don't see any microphones coming open over in the dial pad meetings room. All they have to do there is to press the star key on your telephone 2 times. It will open your microphone. Then you can suggest what we talk about, which is that way you can learn what you want to learn about, not just something that we're talking about. It gives you more choices, more freedom to find out more about natural remedies. I'm looking over here, and Angela, do you have any? I'm looking in the chat room at YouTube, and if Angela has any topics or suggestions over there, or if and here's a person, David, please go to the, give us your topic, your suggestion. What is it that you would like to talk about? Please unmute your microphone. You are invited to unmute your microphone, David, and let's answer your question, what you want to talk about. I'm looking over here. I don't see anything. Oh, there it goes. Go ahead.
Yes, Dr. Burst. I'm Sharisa, David's wife. Here's David.
Yes.
Here.
How can we be helpful?
I have a question. If a person has, say for instance, a person has filled out the membership form and intake form and all of that, how long might one person wait before they can get, I don't know, a review or?
Well, here's what happens. What happens next is that once you fill out the member intake form, generally within 7 days, no more than usually 10 days, we're still just catching up with some in the past, but we're getting faster and faster now at answering those member intakes forms. But I would give it 10 days, and we're going to try to do it within 3 to 4 days. So that's our goal. And what is going to happen is you're going to get that member intake form sent back to you with any links that you can click on to see the products within a protocol. So you're going to get a protocol that's going to be targeting all the information and that you have provided in the member intake form, and then we're going to suggest what to take, when to take it, how much to take, and it's all in a protocol, starting out in the morning, educating you about some various things. Then you will be looking at a protocol that will say, if you have a kidney disorder, you probably want to look at the kidney cleanse kit. And then you click on the kidney cleanse kit. It'll take you over to the manufacturer, betterhealthherbs.com, and betterhealthherbs.com. Then you'll be able to see the product, you'll be able to see the directions and dosage, the different sizes available. And so then you are going to put whatever product that you want into your shopping cart. And when it comes, and then you're going to look down below, and it's going to ask you if you have a coupon code. And see, I don't get anything from the sale of any of these products, and I'm not selling products, but they are available. And I would be remiss if I didn't tell you where or how to get them. It's not a secret. It may be a secret. It may be that there are certain people that want you to think it should be a secret, but I don't like secrets. So that's why I'm explaining how you can get this product. If it's a kidney cleanse kit, then you're looking at it. You got the directions and the dosage, and you know how to use it, and then it asks you for a coupon code. And the coupon code is GOCC. When you type in GOCC, it takes 20% off of your order, and that's it. And that's and that's how you can get the products that are in that protocol. And then there are some products, that maybe some supplements or something you could get anywhere. Well, then you can go to your local health food store and pick up whatever supplements that are listed there, because it's more handy for you than ordering them online. But of course you do get that 20% discount. So that, but anyway, that's the system.
Okay, that's great. Two more comments.
Go ahead.
Would a person have an opportunity to speak with you again, or would there be something that you do over online? And
Yes, now here and yes, every Thursday, here you are, I'm looking at you and you're looking at me, and you look like somebody by the name of Deborah, but
do you really think so?
I think so. You resemble that person a great deal, and I love that person.
Okay, yeah, I do too.
You love that person too. Well, you should.
Yeah.
But anyway, yes, here I am every Thursday. We can talk on YouTube. We can talk on Zoom. We can talk on the dial pad meetings for 2 hours, and you can ask me to talk about what you want to hear about. Now, I did not get an email that was telling me about this particular disorder that you had mentioned last week when we had so many problems, but they're all solved today, as you may have noticed. All praises to the Most High.
I think this problem is solved too, with a lot of things that we've been doing lately. So, and one other comment, if the information from the intake forms has somewhat changed by the time that you might be able to get to it, we would also be able to reconfigure some of it.
Absolutely. That's what the good news is you can update that form. Anytime something new happens, you can take that same form that you sent, and because you've got a copy in your email in your sent file, you can open that up and you can add this, add that, whatever needs to be added, and send it again.
Okay.
And so that keeps me, which is great, because that keeps me updated as to what's going on, and it keeps me sending you back answers so that we just continually update you. Then every Thursday, here we are. You can then come on and we can discuss. We're not discussing you, so to speak.
Right,
we can discuss the topic, and you can let us know that regarding that topic and that situation, is it time to discontinue this? Is it time to add that? Should we increase the dosage? Should we decrease the dosage? If we have this particular type of situation, that's what we're talking about, but we're not talking about a person. That way we're not prescribing and diagnosing. We're simply making sure that people get information so they can make their own decisions as to how they want to proceed. We certainly need all the help we can get with these health disorders, and it does not need to be limited to any particular modality. Anybody that can help, we need their help to get well, and all praises to the Most High. That's where we start.
Okay, awesome. Now the intake form, let me see, I'm not a real exceptionally techie person. Okay. So that would be like, are you saying it's the email a person would have sent you, or just go on the website, and that person would be able to find their intake form?
Yes. Yeah. So if I'm going on over here to the herbalhealthreview.com website, then I can click on common conditions, and that gives me all the reports for all the different health disorders. And I can look on this right side on the right side of the screen here on my computer, and it says member intake form. And you can click on the member intake form, and you can and it's and you can send it to somebody you love, copy the link, share it with other people, and then there's all these other reports for abscesses, acidosis, acne, adrenal, and those are just the A's. But it has all these reports so that you can educate yourself regarding certain health disorders. And then I'm updating this. I don't own anything, and I don't own this website, but I do manage and update everything. I don't own the Better Health Herbs website. I don't own anything there, and I don't get anything from the sale of any product. But I'm also I advise them as to what they should do and what they shouldn't do. And this is something that the chief federal judge of the Western United States, Judge Adkins, asked me to do. She said, keep your eye on betterhealthherbs.com and make sure that if they, whatever they need, that you can continue to make sure that they're doing what they should be doing and need to be doing. And that's exactly what I do, but I don't get paid for it. The only thing that I get is the donations that that I ask for a membership in this system. I created this system, and I created it under the direction of the Most High God. And it's for everyone, and it's what I ask for a lifetime membership in this system, where you can get educated and you can continue with monitoring the results and how you're doing, and bring in your friends over YouTube, over Dialpad Meetings Room, over Zoom every Thursday for 2 hours. So for 2 hours every Thursday, and all this research information, it's a wonderful membership and a way to educate yourself, and so that you can make better decisions about what you need to do for your health. So the member intake form is here on the right side, and you can click on that, and the make lifestyle changes. That's one of the most important reports that you could click on, because it gives you a complete diet system to increase your immune system, to make you so powerful that you have so much energy that even if you're in your 80s, you still have the power, the stamina, and the endurance to hug all your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren, because I have 8 grandchildren from 1 daughter. And those 8 grandchildren have blessed me with 17 great-grandchildren, and I'm busy hugging all these kids all the time. So, you got to stay in shape for that. Going for a walk with my 13-year-old. My 13-year-old is 5'10".
Wow.
Yes, and her name is Kylie, and we go walking. And at first I couldn't keep up with her, but now I can. Now I can pass her in the fast lane, because and I know somebody else that did that once too. But that's another story. But anyway, so yes, it's a complete system where every Thursday for 2 hours, but it doesn't end there. You've got my email address, Truman@healthherbs.com. You can always email me, and then we can correspond that way. I can add that to your file, but calling me isn't the greatest idea, because I have a lot of people who want to call me, and I would be on the telephone all day long, and I would not get anything done. So, but you can call that number, and when you do call that number, I do try to call everybody back. I'm just not real fast at it. But I do try to call everybody back, and I read the texts, and I text them back, and they text me information, and I text them information. So I'm really busy making sure that everybody is able to communicate with me and able to get a lot of great information, so that they can make their own decisions as to whether they need this vitamin or whether they don't, or whether they need this herb or whether they don't, or whether they should go to the doctor and get a diagnosis, which is always a good idea. If you need a doctor and there's something wrong, go get a diagnosis. Then you can decide, well, hey, I know this herbal remedy. I think I would like to try that. And then you can try that, and maybe that'll work, and maybe it won't. Maybe you need to go to the doctor again. Maybe you might need surgery, but maybe you don't. Maybe there are natural remedies that could be helpful. And that's what we're sharing here, is just let's try to stay well, get well, and stay well. That's what we got to do.
Yeah, we're up for that. We're up for that.
So that being said, I still want that member intake form so that I can help that gentleman who gave me a word that I couldn't make out what it was he was saying, over the computer speakers and so forth. If it was written in the chat room, I can see the chat room, and I can see if it was written there, then I could look it up, and then I could answer the question.
Yeah, that was my husband. That was my husband's diagnosis. He says the word a lot, but we neither one of us knows how to spell it.
Oh, okay. All right. So, but if you gave it to me in a member intake form, I'd figure it out.
Okay. All right. We'll do that.
I would do diligence.
We'll do
Okay.
All right.
All
Thank
right.
you.
You're welcome. So now we have had a question here today, and I don't see any other microphones that are open. So, over there on the, let's see, can you send it to somebody? Let's see what it says. 2 action things. Okay, I'm going to come over here and see what my action items are over on dial pad. I'm over there looking. No, no. Okay, I didn't see what it was. Okay. Action. Okay. All right. I don't see any action items. Therefore, meeting notes. Let's see. What do we got here? We got a lot of meeting notes here. Wow. Oh, I see. That is a transcript of this conversation. Cool. Okay. So I'm looking at a transcript of the conversation over here in Diapad meetings. So we even have a transcript of it, everything that we said. I have to be really careful with what I say, with the transcript. Of course, you'd have to anyway, but now here I am in this room, and no one in the room has any questions or suggestions. So let's get on to today's topic. The topic over here is a very interesting one. It's called Horner's syndrome. It's a condition, and well, I got to go over here and bring that up too. It's a condition. Horner's syndrome is a condition that affects the eyes and part of the face. And this Horner's syndrome can cause drooping eyelid, irregular pupils, and a lack of perspiration. And those symptoms themselves aren't dangerous. They may indicate a more serious health problem. And so now let's get a little bit deeper into that. And let's get into the topic. Horner's syndrome, also known as oculosympathetic palsy, or Bernard-Horner syndrome. And what it is it is a relatively rare condition that affects the eyes and part of the face. It occurs due to a disruption of the pathway of the sympathetic nerves that connect the brain stem to the eyes and face. These nerves control involuntary functions such as dilation and constriction of the pupils of the eye and perspiration. That's some things that and usually the symptoms associated with Horner's symptom. Usually the symptoms associated with the Horner's syndrome affect only one side of the face. And the syndrome can occur in people of all ages and both sexes. It can affect people of all races and ethnic groups. Horner's syndrome, the associated symptoms of Horner's syndromes in and of themselves generally do not cause significant problems with a person's health or vision. However, they can indicate the presence of an underlying health problem that may be very serious. What are the types of Horner's syndrome? Well, the types of Horner syndrome there are three different nerve pathways that may be involved in the Horner syndrome. The nerves from the brain do not travel along a direct path to the eyes and face. They travel along three paths, and disruption may occur in any of these pathways. First order central Horner's syndrome are the nerves from the hypothalamus in the brain that lead down through the brain stem, the spinal cord to the chest. Damage or obstruction of this nerve pathway may occur due to sudden interruption of blood flow to the brain stem, tumor of the hypothalamus, spinal cord lesions. The second order is preganglionic. The second stage of the nerve pathway leads from the chest to the top of the lungs and along the carotid artery of the neck. And the conditions that can damage or obstruct the nerve pathway include tumors in the upper part of the lung or chest cavity, trauma to the neck or chest cavity due to surgery or accident. The third order is post-ganglionic. The nerve pathway travels from the neck to the middle to the middle ear and eye. Problems may result from lesions of the carotid artery, middle ear infections, injury to the base of the skull, migraine or cluster headaches. The symptoms and the causes, well, the symptoms and the causes. Most commonly associated with Horner's syndromes are drooping of the upper eyelid, pupil of one eye appears smaller than the other, decrease in sweating or lack of sweating on the face. Now, you might be sweating, but you don't sweat on the face. Horner's syndrome may be congenital or acquired. Congenital Horner's syndrome is present at birth in a small percentage of the population. Usually, it occurs because of some type of birth trauma or injury to the nerves or carotid artery during delivery. It may be caused by a tumor, neuroblastoma. In rare cases, the syndrome may be inherited, although no specific genes have been linked to it yet. If the syndrome is present before the child is 2 years of age, the iris of the eye may be lighter on the affected side. So that's congenital. Acquired. Acquired. There are many different underlying conditions that may result in Horner's syndrome. Disorders affecting the neck, chest, lungs, or disruption of the blood supply in the brain may result in symptoms. And some of the many conditions that it may produce are trauma to the neck or head, infections, tumor at the top of the lung cancer, thyroid tumor, migraines or cluster headaches, cerebral vascular interruption of the blood flow to the brain caused by a stroke, aneurysm, or blood clot called an embolism. Cancerous or malignant or non-cancerous or benign lesions or tumors on the cervical nerves on one side of the body, which is very rare. And surgery can cause it. So what are the diagnosis and tests for Horner's syndrome? The diagnosis and tests for Horner's syndrome may be complex, since other disorders may cause similar symptoms. Once a definite diagnosis is made, further tests may be acquired to determine the underlying cause of the symptoms. Physical examination, your doctor will conduct an examination and note any visible signs. He or she will ask you if you're experiencing other symptoms, such as pain. There'll be a look at your medical history. Your doctor will ask you about your past illnesses, injuries, and surgeries, and an eye examination by an ophthalmologist. But more often, a neuro-ophthalmologist than an ophthalmologist who specializes in neurological conditions, and he can perform tests to measure the response of the pupils of the eye to certain medications. The doctor will insert eye drops containing a small amount of drug to dilate the pupils. Failure of one pupil to dilate open may indicate that Horner's syndrome is present. Further tests with other types of drugs can confirm the diagnosis. There are imaging tests. And these imaging tests, if symptoms indicate the presence of a tumor, lesion, or structural abnormality, tests may be ordered to locate the growth and determine if it is cancerous or benign. Tests may include chest x-rays, magnetic resonance imaging, MRI, or computed tomography, CT scan, or ultrasound. So how is Horner's syndrome treated? The treatment will depend on which kind of underlying disorder is causing Horner's syndrome. Since there are many possible causes, the kinds of treatment can vary widely. Sometimes no treatment is necessary unless the patient is experiencing pain or other discomforts. If a tumor or other abnormality is found, options may include surgery. If the tumor is malignant, post-surgical treatment may include chemotherapy and radiation. Genetic counseling may be helpful in situations where there is a family history of Horner's syndrome. What is the prognosis or the outlook with Horner's syndrome? The prognosis of Horner's syndrome also depends on the underlying cause. The characteristic symptoms of Horner's syndrome generally do not have a significant impact on the quality of life or vision. However, they may indicate the presence of a serious or even life-threatening illness that requires prompt medical attention. That is it for Horner's syndrome. And if there's anyone who has a question, a topic or something we should suggest or talk about, please press the star key 2 times on your telephone if you're in the dial pad meetings room. If you're over here in YouTube, please open up your microphone, ask any question or suggest any topic, and we will continue. While I'm waiting for a suggestion or a topic, one of the things that happens there, is something called ptosis. So let's take this another step, a step further. And this ptosis, it happens to a lot of people. So we're going to take this up one more notch. When we're talking about ptosis, let's talk about the causes and the natural treatments for drooping eyelids. That's ptosis. Drooping eyelids, that's ptosis, ptosis. Now, as we age, let's get over here. Okay, ptosis. We can do this. I'm going to here. Got to look for ptosis. Okay, let's bring that same report up over here. So we're looking at it on 2 different computers. And now we're sharing that information with everybody in the dial pad room. And they are looking at the same thing that we're looking at in the YouTube room. Just waiting for the report to come up. There it is. So as we age, wrinkles and droopy eyelids are to be expected. But if an eyelid droops so much that it covers the pupil and it blocks the vision, it can cause significant disruption. And it can cause significant disruption in our lives. And when eyelids fall to a lower position than normal, the condition is called ptosis or blepharoptosis. So, and while typically a result of natural aging, this ptosis can be a sign of a more serious neurological nerve or muscular disease. So it's imperative that a doctor be consulted when you first notice one or both of your eyelids drooping. This is particularly true if it seems to have appeared overnight. The condition can strike anyone at any age. And that there is virtually no difference in prevalence between sexes or ethnic groups. It can happen to anyone. For some, the drooping eyelids may be barely noticeable, but for others, the eyelid may extend over the pupil, blocking the vision. Children can be affected by this condition too, sometimes from birth. Regular eye examinations to ensure their vision isn't impacted adversely for life, they're absolutely necessary. For children and adults alike, there doesn't seem to be a way to prevent this condition, but both conventional and natural treatments for ptosis can help. Both surgical and non-surgical treatment, the options that are available, and the best plan must be tailored to each individual's needs. It is important to have regular eye examinations and to address any underlying medical conditions that may be causing ptosis, as maintaining good eye health is key to our quality of life. Let's talk a little bit more about what is ptosis. It's a condition where one or both of the upper eyelids droop. The droop can be slight or barely noticeable, or it can be severe, blocking vision and your line of sight. The drooping occurs because the levator muscle, the muscle responsible for raising and lowering the eyelid, is compromised. There are 6 recognized types of ptosis. First one is aponeurotic ptosis. This is the most common and is associated with aging. The levator muscle has become overstretched and simply doesn't bounce back the way it once did. This may be caused by excessive eye rubbing or prolonged contact lens use. Then the next one is neurogenic. Neurogenic ptosis. This type occurs when the nerve pathways that control the movement of the eyelids are compromised. This can be due to Horner syndrome, third nerve palsy, or myasthenia gravis. And then there's myogenic ptosis, with certain types of systemic disorders that cause muscle weakness, like muscular dystrophy, can cause this type of ptosis as the other muscles in the body continue to weaken, sometimes including the levator muscle. There's mechanical ptosis. If the eyelid is weighed down by a mass or excessive skin, mechanical ptosis can occur. There's traumatic ptosis. Ptosis can also be the result of an external injury or trauma to the eyelid or eye. Wearing proper eye protection when playing sports and working with tools is essential for good eye health. Congenital ptosis, that's where children can be born with droopy eyelids. This occurs when the levator muscle doesn't develop properly in the womb. Surgery is often recommended to ensure proper vision develops, and failure to treat can result in a lazy eye and a lifetime of poor vision. Children with proptosis, even mild cases, should have examinations from an eye specialist annually through the early years. Eyes change shape as they grow, and proptosis can worsen. The proptosis signs and symptoms are, number one, drooping eyelid that is noticeable when looking in the mirror, tilting of the head backwards to see under the lid, raising of the eyebrows to lift the eyelids for better vision, dry eyes, watery eyes, dull aching in and around the eyes, looking tired. Proptosis can look and present similarly to dermatochalasis, a connective tissue disorder that causes skin to sag in folds. And in those folds, it's most often associated with less than normal elastic tissue, the elastic tissue formation. And if you notice drooping eyelids, speak to your ophthalmologist as soon as possible. Okay. Causes and factors. Okay. And conventional treatment, before treatment can begin, a proper diagnosis is necessary, as there are many potentially dangerous before a treatment plan can begin, a proper diagnosis is necessary, as there's many potentially dangerous and underlying causes of proptosis. A physical examination, a discussion of your medical history, and an extensive eye examination, blood tests, and a possible CT scans and MRIs may be ordered. These tests can help to rule out neurological and muscle diseases like myasthenia gravis and certain autoimmune disorders. In the eye examination, a slit lamp will be used, and dilation of the affected eye or eyes may be required. In addition, hold on here. I lost my place. All right. So in the eye examination, we're talking about a slit lamp may be used, and the dilation of the affected areas or eyes may be required. And in addition, your doctor may do a tension test by injecting the drug endrophonium, a brand name Tinsulin, to determine muscle strength and response. And be prepared to talk about how long the eyelids have been drooping, if you can think of anything specific that caused it, and any other signs or symptoms you may be experiencing, like headaches, muscle weakness, numbness, tingling, as well as any changes in speech or swallowing. If an underlying condition like diabetes is determined to be the root cause of the proptosis, treating the condition will often occur before surgical options to correct the drooping eyelid are considered. In other words, we're going to treat the diabetes first. And if the proptosis is severe and the droopy eyelid is blocking limited vision, or surgery may be required. Vision, if it's limiting the vision, surgery may be required. The surgery is an outpatient procedure where the surgeon tightens the levator muscles to lift the eyelids. This improves both vision and appearance of the eyelid. As with all surgical procedures, there are risks. After this surgery, the eyelids may appear asymmetrical, and in rare cases, eyelid movement may be lost. Other rare complications include a scratched cornea with a hematoma. It is imperative that you select an ophthalmologist or plastic surgeon with significant experience with correcting ptosis for the best results. One of the more effective non-surgical options is eyeglasses with an attached crutch that holds up the eyelid to allow for proper vision. An ophthalmologist attaches the crutches to the inside of the frames, and they are rarely noticeable. They are considered effective and safe, but proper fitting may take some patience, and it is possible that you may develop dry eyes because the crutches keep the eyelids open. Be sure to follow your eye doctor's directions for keeping eyes lubricated properly. Ptosis and natural ways to manage the symptoms.
Greetings, Dr. Truman.
Greetings.
Greetings, Dr. Truman.
Greetings. We're about to explain how to deal with ptosis naturally. And how are you doing today, Barbara?
I'm blessed by the best. I'm like you and Prophet Elijah.
Yeah.
Contagiously, unlimitedly, truly blessed.
Indeed
Can
you
you hear
are.
me?
Indeed you are.
I have a topic.
Yes, what is your topic?
I have been getting a lot of calls. A lot of people are afraid of colonoscopy. And from my understanding of doing a little bit of study, that it starts at the age of 40, and a person had bleeding columns. I don't know too much about this here, and before taking it, is there any kind of thing that they can do? I just don't understand it fully.
Okay.
But it starts at age 45 from my understanding. I'm not sure.
Yes. All right. Okay. So we need to talk about colonoscopy. Okay. And bleeding. All right. Is there anything else, Sister Barbara?
No, just bleeding problems, because I think that we all need to get a full understanding of this here.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of different information from different doctors.
Yes. Well, okay. Let's talk.
So we just need.
Of course, it's colonoscopy
45, is. Does it start 45 or does it start?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. You say 45.
Bleeding problems and turn cancer. Yep, that's what they said. 45.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. That's our next topic. Is there anything else, Sister Barbara? I lost you. Okay. All right. I've got that topic.
No, sir. I'm just going to sit back and just.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you, Sister Barbara. And she's going to sit back, and we're going to finish the natural ways to manage the symptoms of ptosis. We gotta come to the end of that. It starts with the first one that can help these sagging eyelids, is to relieve the pain and discomfort associated with ptosis and soak the eye in a chamomile tea bag. You soak the chamomile tea bags in hot water, and then you allow them to come to room temperature. And then you squeeze out the excessive amount of moisture in there, so you're not running it all over the place. And then you squeeze out that excess tea. You lie down, place the bags on your eyes, and relax. As tea can stain, it can stain your clothing. Be sure to put a towel down between your head and catch any drops and so forth. So, okay, now you got your towels in place and you're lying down comfortably, and you got these chamomile tea bags that have been squeezed out, and you've got them to where they're still have a lot of moisture in them, and you're placing them on the eyes. And according to the research from Case Western Reserve University, chamomile. I'm over here. Wait a minute, let me get back over here. I'm doing two computers at once. So chamomile, what the tea does, it fights the inflammation. It calms the nerves, and is particularly helpful when fighting the eye inflammation. And because the various phytochemicals that chamomile contains, when applied topically, it is effective and helping to combat the eye infections and certain disorders of the eye, including blocked tear ducts and other inflammatory conditions. When enjoyed as a tea, chamomile tea, well, the powerful flower shows anti-cancer activity. It helps to fight a cold. It soothes the gastrointestinal tract, and it is valuable for those with diabetes, as it helps to lower blood sugar levels. So enjoy a cup of chamomile tea. That's one thing you could do. You could also, what isn't listed in this report, is you could take and soak tissue or cloth in colloidal silver water and put that over, and wring it out and put that over the eyes, each eye, and that will get rid of inflammation, sore eyes, and eyes that are itchy eyes and all that kind of stuff. The colloidal silver water is a great remedy for the eyes. There are those who use acupuncture for the eyes and for certain neuromuscular conditions like Bell's palsy, or as a result of stroke, or acupuncture may help. An acupuncturist with experience in neuromuscular conditions. So that's what you're going to make sure that they have experience in neuromuscular conditions, and they will place needles in a certain facial and scalp muscles to help re-innervate the muscles in the face and to stimulate atrophied muscles. You may need to visit your acupuncturist twice a week for a couple of months until the symptoms abate. So acupuncture may be helpful. Vitamin B12. Vitamin B12 is an essential nutrient. It's vital for neuromuscular function. If you are a vegetarian or a vegan, you are more likely to be deficient in vitamin B12. And according to the National Institutes of Health, the RDA, for vitamin B12 is 2.4 micrograms for adults. If you don't eat fish or beef, taking a high quality supplement of B12 is a good idea to keep those levels in the optimal range, B12. And when you're looking at that vitamin B12, you're going to be looking at two types. One will say methyl B12, that's the natural B12. The other, it would be methyl cobalamin. That's natural B12. Just cobalamin B12 without the methyl means it's not natural B12. Then there's Netrapana therapy. Netrapana therapy. That's Ayurvedic medicine, dates back thousands of years, and is based on a balancing diet, lifestyle, and herbal remedies to treat a wide range of conditions. See, that's exactly what I do, is I do a system that's based on thousands of years of Ayurvedic medicine, balancing the diet, the lifestyle, and herbal remedies. And it does treat a wide range of conditions. But Netrapana is the standard treatment for ptosis. And it is a combination of warmed ghee, Ghee, and salt, and certain oils that are poured carefully over the eyes by an Ayurvedic medicine professional. Not only is this practice soothing, it can actually strengthen the nerves and muscles of the eyes. And you would have to find a practitioner in your area and ask if they have experienced in Netrapana therapy. Then there is eyelid strengthening exercises. This eyelid strengthening exercises, well, time for a drink of water. They include doing some exercises when ptosis is caused by aging or diminished muscular strength. There's these eyelid strengthening exercises that may help to improve the appearance and lessen the droopiness. For the first exercise, shut both eyes and place a finger at the base of the eyelid. Okay, and try to open your eyes, raising your eyebrows as high as possible. Do 10 to 15 repetitions. It's kind of like eyelid push-ups, you know? So you do that 10 to 15 times. And we get more water. And the second eyelid strengthening exercise requires you to be in front of a mirror. And you place your index fingers just below your eyebrows. And then you raise them up against the eyebrow bone. And then you close your eyes. And you blink 5 to 7 times. Then squeeze your eyes tightly together for 5 seconds. And you repeat the entire exercise 10 times a day. 10 times a day. Okay, you're doing it for 5 seconds. That's 50 seconds. So there it is. Those are some exercises. Now, what about eye-friendly foods? You want to eat eye-friendly foods. Beta carotene and other carotenoids are associated with good eye health. In addition, for those with ptosis, foods rich in beta carotene have an anti-inflammatory properties, and they protect against certain types of cancer, boost the immune system response, and help to protect the skin from damage. When designing meals, be sure to include a serving of 2 beta carotene rich foods. They are easily identified as they are brightly colored, and they taste great. Look for fruits and vegetables with bright yellow and orange and red flesh, like red bell peppers, papaya, sweet potatoes, winter squash, and tomatoes. Try that. There's a crunchy, satisfying carrot apple salad recipe that we can give you if you ask for it. We would do that. There is the nutrient, lutein. Lutein, and all it takes is this tiny amount, just 6 milligrams each day of lutein, 6 milligrams, along with a healthy lifestyle and diet containing foods rich in antioxidants and fatty acids, has been shown to lower the risk of age-related macular degeneration by an average of 43%, and may help to protect against cataracts, according to the research from Harvard Medical School, published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. Lutein is a powerful carotenoid, and the best source, hands down, is kale. You're going to get a lot of kale. You're going to get a lot of lutein from kale. And other leafy greens contain lutein too, but a cup per cup, kale contains more than twice the lutein of a turnip, of turnip greens and collard greens or spinach. You can make a healthy, nutrient-dense snack with baked kale chips and some hummus. There you go. Lutein. I have my lutein every day. Lutein capsule. Now, avoid eye strain. You want to avoid eye strain. Don't do what I do, staring at a computer all day long. Very bad for your eyes. Eye strain is a real problem in today's world. We spend so much time looking at a computer or phone screens, focusing on one distance with abnormally light. With abnormal light. You're focusing on one distance with abnormal light, that we strain our eyes when looking at an electrical device. It is important to look away from the screen and blink and refocus on something 10 feet or so away every 10 minutes for 30 seconds. Okay? Every 10 minutes for 30 seconds. Focus on something else and blink and refocus. Precautions. If eyelids droop unexpectedly or are accompanied by any one or more of the following, these symptoms, that's when you should seek medical attention immediately. If you're having migraine headaches, if you're having muscle weakness in face, arms, or legs, if you're having double vision, difficulty in swallowing, eye infection, bulging eye, fever, pain in the eyes or eye socket, it's time to seek emergency medical attention immediately. Now, the proptosis key points. Let's conclude with some key points here. Drooping eyelids, or proptosis, is normally caused by aging. However, it develops quickly. See a doctor immediately, as it may be a sign of a serious health condition. Proptosis can be caused by a stroke, certain types of cancer, a brain tumor, or an aneurysm, diabetes, and rare muscle diseases. Proptosis can affect one eye or both eyes. And in some cases, the drooping eye may be so severe that it adversely impacts vision. Children can be born with proptosis at birth. Failure to treat it can lead to a lifetime of poor vision. Conventional treatments include both surgical and non-surgical options. We talked about the main points of natural treatment for proptosis. And that is use chamomile tea bag compresses and drink chamomile tea to reduce inflammation and ease symptoms. And if you needed additional help with inflammation of the body, there are a lot of natural remedies for inflammation. Saw one here. It's even up on the website. And when you go on that Health and Herbs website, type in inflammation, there is a formula by the name of inflammation. There's an inflammation kit. So there's a lot of things that you can use. Just type in inflammation. Herbs like organic turmeric root, which is also called curcumin, because that's the chemical constituent. And if there's 95% curcumin in turmeric roots, boswellia resin and ginger root, those will all help with inflammation. So there's an inflammation kit. So there's a lot of things that we can do for inflammation. And chamomile tea bags, it's just one of those things. And acupuncture may be effective if the root cause is neuromuscular. And then there's vitamin B12, which is essential for healthy neuromuscular function. Then there's the Ayurvedic remedy, Netrapana therapy, which is pouring warm ghee and salt and oils over the eyes, can strengthen the muscles and nerves. There's eyelid strengthening exercises daily. There's eating beta carotene rich foods and finding out about the most potent eye food there is, which is called lutein. Lutein, and it's found in kale. And avoid eye strain. Don't be staring at a computer all day long. And if you are, do those eye exercises every 10 minutes. That's it for proptosis. So let's go back to the room here and look around a little bit. I don't see anyone else over there chatting me, anything over there on YouTube. And thank you, YouTube and Zoom folks, for joining us here.
Dr. Truman,
Yes,
Dr.
Sister Barbara. Yes, Sister Barbara.
I have a high praise of your grandson. What is his name?
His
He's a
name.
gift from the Most High God to our health review. We were out on YouTube last week when something happened and your grandson guided us. There's a lot of seniors, we don't know the computer on like that. Your grandson helped us. We was going and how do we help? Well, we lost.
Yes.
Now, what is your grandson? Because he's a gift, a computer specialist gift to Herbal Health Review.
Yes, he is. His
And
name
this
is
is with-
his name is Gary.
What's his name?
His name is
What's his name?
Gary.
Gary.
Yes.
Well, you tell Gary that he is absolutely impeccable because he helped us out on YouTube, and I hear him always running to help when things was happening with classes, the computer class. Your son, your grandson needs to be recognized.
We recognize him. He's a good guy. He helps me all the time.
I'm not that from us. From
Yes.
us on conference.
And
He is impeccable and all praises to the Most High God for his help.
all praises to the Most High. And
Amen.
thank you, Gary. Okay, and we'll do that. So let's talk a little bit about this colonoscopy thing, okay? All right, let's talk about colonoscopy. Okay, it's we're going over here. All right, gotta close the mic. That's Sister Barbara. All right. Okay, so now and okay, get my eyes a little colloidal silver water. Yeah, there we go. That was good. So let's talk about colonoscopy. What's going on with this colonoscopy? Okay. Let's see what he says about it. Okay, Team Chat. More. Well, first of all, let's describe what a colonoscopy is. Okay, colonoscopy. Let's just it's a way of looking at the colon, and and it's a way of being able to look into the colon, the bowel, and see if there's any polyps, or see if those polyps, during a colonoscopy, the doctor uses a colonoscope, which is a long, flexible, tubular instrument about a ½ inch in diameter that transmits an image of the lining of the colon so the doctor can examine it for abnormalities. The colonoscope is inserted through the rectum and advanced to the other end of the large intestine. So that is what a colonoscopy is. The entire procedure generally takes about 20 to 30 minutes, and you'll stay in a recovery room for about 30 minutes to an hour to wake up from the sedative. You may have cramping or pass gas, but these things aren't normal. Okay? And what should you do before you go in for a colonoscopy? During the colonoscopy, you're going to be on your left side on an exam table, and you'll get sedatives through an IV in your arm, and you'll go to sleep. And during the procedure, the doctor puts in a tube-like instrument called a colonoscope into your rectum. It's long, but only about ½ an inch across. It has a light and a video camera on the tip, so the doctor can see the lining of your colon and tell you if there's any problem there. The colonoscope also includes a tube that lets your doctor pump in air and inflate your colon. This will, it flipped on me here. How's that? Okay, hold on. This will give them a better view of your colon when they're able to inflate the colon. Then they can have a better view of the colon and its lining. And during the exam, your doctor can use a small snare in the colonoscope to take a tiny sample of your colon for testing, which is called a biopsy. They can also use it to take out abnormal growths called polyps. They can use it to remove them with this, during the coloscopy. And yeah, you may have gas, and you can eat regularly after you leave the doctor's office. That doesn't mean it's okay to go to the fast food place. You be sure and get quality food. So when we say eat regularly, we're hoping you're eating according to the Make Lifestyle Changes diet system that's on the website herbalhealthreview.com. And you also, once you leave the doctor's office, you want to make sure you understand the instructions that you get before you go home. You may need to avoid certain medicines, such as blood thinners, such as vitamin E. Vitamin E is a blood thinner. And a lot of people have clogged arteries because they don't take any vitamin E, and they should take vitamin E because it will unclog the arteries. And if they did have clots and, if there's clotting in the blood, then you want to know about an enzyme called nattokinase. Nattokinase will break up the clots in the body, even varicose vein clots. Nattokinase. But now if there's bleeding and if there's a puncture of the colon, which is rare, this game keeps flipping around on me when I'm trying to read it, and it's not any fair for it to do that. But you want to call your doctor if there's any bleeding, right away, if you have more than a little bleeding or bleeding that lasts a long time. If you have any severe abdominal pain, fever, or chills, you want to call that doctor back and let him know what's going on. Okay? But that's it. That gives you an idea of what a colonoscopy is and how it's performed, and what it's there to determine the health of the colon. That's what it's there for, and that's what a colonoscopy is. And if there's bleeding, again, you want to stop that bleeding. You can stop it with cayenne pepper. Ingesting cayenne pepper will slow down bleeding. There's an herb called passion flower. Passion flower. Let's see, wait a minute. Shepherd's purse is the herb I'm looking for. Shepherd's purse will slow down bleeding. Passion flower is a sedative, but shepherd's purse will slow down bleeding. So you want to know about shepherd's purse, you want to know about cayenne pepper. These will help to slow down a hemorrhage. That's it. That's it for and before you. So I think that's about it. That's all we need for the colonoscopy. Now, is there any other question? Anybody with a question?
Okay, Dr. Truman.
Okay.
What age? What is the age and what is the repeated years of the colonoscopy?
Well, it depends.
Different age.
Well, now that's going to be determined by the doctor. Whether you certainly can't do a colonoscopy on an infant, but you can with
No,
children.
the age that people are getting is age
Okay,
40 years old.
40,
Is that what you got?
at 40 years old,
40.
yeah.
Start the colonoscopy.
At the age of 40, yes. I'd say anyone who has any kind of a colon
Do you get it?
I'm
Do
sorry,
you get it every 3 years? If you don't have bleeding problems, how many years do you get it again?
you don't get it at all unless you have a problem or unless you have a history of a history of polyps.
If you had,
I've never had a colonoscopy. I'm 81
Oh,
years old, and I've never had a colonoscopy. It's not something that you need to have. You would only do it
Okay.
if you had a problem, if you had polyps, if you had bleeding, if you had cancer in the colon. That's when they're going to determine how bad it is. They're going to look at it, and that's a colonoscopy. That's when they would use it. They would use it at just about any age. Any age. They're going to look for cancers, polyps, tumors, bleeding. If there's bleeding, if there's pain in the colon, they're going to look. They're going to take a look at any age.
Well, no, that's true. But a lot of
You're breaking up.
teenage 40 from the doctors, age 40. I understand what you're saying, but this is my question. And this is why I need to know, because a lot of these doctors are telling them age 40 regardless to any problem.
You don't just reach age 40 and then you have to have a colonoscopy. That's what I'm saying. The only time you're going to need a colonoscopy at any age is if there's some indication that there's something going on in there. Then they're going to take a look.
Okay, well then I'm going to digress from it because it's winding up being a lie. Some of it is a lie there. I'm going to digress from that here because
Yes.
they were told no problem, but age 40.
That's right. It's not something you have to have.
So I'm going to leave it alone.
Okay. But it was a good thing we took a look
Okay.
at that, and you did give us a topic which we've never covered before. So now we've talked about colonoscopies, and the fact that you
I
would,
know. And it needs to be in more detail because there's a lot.
you're breaking up. You're breaking up, Barbara.
Okay.
I have to mute your mic.
I know it's not being talked.
Yeah. I have to mute your mic, Barbara, because you're breaking up. We're getting some of what you say and then it breaks up. So that's it. That's it for that topic. If we have another topic or another suggestion, anybody, let me know what it is. Otherwise, let's take this apoptosis and this
Hashimoto.
Dr. Truman, thank you for what you did. Thank you for
Talk about Hashimoto.
Okay, you're welcome. You're welcome, Sister Barbara. And thank you for contributing. And is anybody else got a question, topic, or suggestion? Go ahead.
Can we discuss Hashimoto's?
Hashimoto's.
Mhm.
Let's go talk about Hashimoto's disease, okay? We're on our way to talk about Hashimoto's disease. Hashimoto's disease, okay? I'm over on the website herbalhealthreview.com. I'm clicking on common conditions and I'm getting some water. And I'm over here. And And I'm in common conditions on the website herbalhealthreview.com. I'm going down to A, B, C, D, and we're looking at let's make it easier here. That one is hard to stare at. Okay, now we're going down. Okay, that's asthma, back pain. And stay with us as we are looking for my here we are. Hashimoto's disease. All right, let's go here. Thyroiditis. Hashimoto's disease. All right. Oops. Hashimoto's thyroiditis, Hashimoto's disease. Let's go over here again, and this computer, and do the same. Okay, bring it up over here. And in over here now. Okay, so now we're looking at it on two different computer screens so that the dial pad meetings room folks can look at the report as well as the folks on Zoom and YouTube. And Hashimoto's is a serious disease. Hashimoto's it's quite serious because when left unaddressed, Hashimoto's disease typically continues to progress and can cause chronic thyroid damage. This results in a decrease in crucial thyroid hormones, which can set off a cascade of other major issues, including mental health and heart problems. Can Hashimoto's disease go away? Well, yes, with the right treatment. It is possible to return to normal thyroid function. In this article that we're going to discuss, we're going to talk about the most important steps that you need to follow in order to overcome Hashimoto's disease. And so we're going to talk about the root causes and the common signs and the symptoms and how to follow a healing of Hashimoto's hypothyroidism diet, which is going to be beneficial. We're going to talk about the beneficial supplements as well as other natural treatments to help treat the symptoms of Hashimoto's disease, also called chronic lymphocytic thyroiditis, or simply Hashimoto's. It's an autoimmune disorder, which means the immune system is producing antibodies that are attacking the body's own healthy tissues, and in the process, negatively impacting functions of the thyroid gland. In developed countries, Hashimoto's is the most common cause of hypothyroidism. An alarming fact in developed countries like the United States, it's estimated that 90% to 95% of the cases of hypothyroidism are due to Hashimoto's disease. In the vast majority of cases, hypothyroidism is not actually a problem of just the thyroid gland itself, but rather it's a condition stemming from overreaction of the entire immune system. The primary hormones that are produced by the thyroid gland are called T4 and T3. Those are the thyroid hormones. T4 and T3, those are the primary hormones produced by the thyroid. Their production depends on the brain's control center, the hypothalamus, accurately sensing the need for more thyroid hormone in the bloodstream and signaling the pituitary gland to then release more. The thyroid stimulating hormones, TSH, is normally released by the pituitary gland in response to changing levels of thyroid hormones in the bloodstream. But with Hashimoto's and hyperthyroidism, this system fails. It's not going to do that. It's not going to normally release the TSH hormones from the pituitary gland in response to changing levels in the bloodstream. It's not going to do it. It fails. There is either too little T4 being converted to T3, the hypothalamus is not signaling to the pituitary gland properly, or the pituitary gland is not releasing enough thyroid stimulating hormone after it is signaled to do so. You may still be wondering, what is the difference between Hashimoto's disease and hypothyroidism? These two labels are not interchangeable, even though both involve the thyroid becoming underactive. Hashimoto's is an autoimmune disease in which antibodies react against thyroid gland proteins, causing gradual destruction of the thyroid gland itself, resulting in reduced production of thyroid hormone. But hypothyroidism is considered a condition in which the thyroid gland doesn't produce enough thyroid hormone. Hashimoto's disease is the most common cause of hypothyroidism. The signs and symptoms. The most common warning signs and symptoms of Hashimoto's disease include fatigue, depression, and anxiety, weight gain, infertility, feeling cold, including when others do not, digestive issues like constipation and bloating, muscle aches and tenderness, a swollen face and eyes and belly, and stiffness and swelling in the joints, hair loss, changes in the hair's texture or hair thinning, rough and cracked skin, trouble breathing, frequent urination and excessive thirst, low sex drive and sexual dysfunction, changes in the menstrual cycle, including absent or irregular periods and problems with infertility, and more frequent colds and infections or illnesses due to a low immune system. And aside from the noticeable symptoms of Hashimoto's or hypothyroidism, you might experience other disorders as well that also raise the risk of long-term health complications. And studies show that the people who have thyroid and autoimmune disorders that are left untreated can go into develop health problems, a lot of different health problems, infertility, ovarian failure, pregnancy, birth complications and birth defects, thyroid goiter caused by the thyroid gland becoming enlarged, which can then interfere with the normal breathing and swallowing, Addison's disease or Graves' disease, other thyroid disorders, type 2 diabetes, high cholesterol levels, increased heart disease risk, mental disorders, including depression, brain and kidney problems, neurological damage, and serious infections. There's a lot to this, and you want to follow up on the hypo and hyperthyroidism and Graves' disease listed on herbalhealthreview.com. And we don't have time to get into this because this would take a lot more time than we have here. We're coming to the top of the hour and we need a closing prayer. So just know that you want to go to the website, herbalhealthreview.com, and you want to click on hyperthyroidism and Graves' disease under the common conditions. And you want to take a look at this Dr. Axe report about what is Hashimoto's disease. And this will enlighten you as to what Hashimoto's, what Graves' disease is, what hyperthyroidism, because they're all connected. And let's get over, and we can follow this up next week. We'll get into the hyperthyroidism and Graves' disease and Hashimoto's. We can do that next week. Let's get over to Prophet Elijah and invite Prophet Elijah to give us a closing prayer. Prophet Elijah, if you can hear me, please open your microphone and let me know that you can hear me.
I'm open.
It's open and there he is. Please let us have a closing prayer. Then we will open the microphones and we'll all praise the Most High together. Can you do that for me, sir?
Most certainly. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Let us make man in our image, according to our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over the cattle, and over the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth. Genesis 1:26. Thank you, Most High, that you did not put any disease on your children to teach us a lesson. It is ludicrous to believe that you are not a loving father, yet many do not think of you loving. We live in enemy territory where disease is a weapon the enemy uses to open fire upon humanity. Certainly, sickness and disease are in the world today because of sin, as a direct result of smoking, which leads to lung cancer. Promiscuity can lead to sexual transmitted infection. Gluttony is directly connected to heart disease, and worry can contribute to high blood pressure. Other times, illness takes whole regardless of our choices or whether or not we deserve it. We have read of the man born blind, neither this man nor his parents sinned. It was done to show that the works of the Most High God should be revealed in him through the wonder working power of healing. As the scripture goes, I must work the works of him who sent me while it is day. The night is coming when no one can work. So be it. Dr. Burks, it is written that the wealth of the sinner finds its way into the hands of the righteous for whom it was laid up. Remember, to the person who pleases him, God gives wisdom, knowledge, and joy. But to the sinner, he gives the work of gathering up that he may give to the one who pleases the Most High God. It is written that he will give you the treasures of darkness and hidden riches in secret places, that you may know that it is he who called you by your name. For the scepter of the wickedness shall not rest until your land due to the righteousness in your heart. The good land shall yield her increase to you. That way, the Most High will literally supply, fill to the fullest your every need according to his riches and glory in Christ Jesus. The young lion lacked food and suffered hunger, but they who seek to inquire of the Father by right of your need and on the authority of his word, you shall not lack any beneficial or good thing. I decree that he daily loads you with benefits. So be it. Were you blessed by Discoveries in Health Ministry? If so, be sure to tell someone you know who may be blessed by listening to the information that have been gathered here today. Bless Dr. Burks in return. Pray about sowing into this ministry so Dr. Burks may be able to keep offering this information freely to many. So be so kind to let Dr. Burks know that his time is not used in vain. Show him your appreciation for all that he does, whether it is word or financial support. A workman is worthy of his hire, which is 2 hours of his time each week. Bless him, and you shall be blessed in return. So be it. That's it, Dr. Burks.
All praises to the Most High. That's Prophet Elijah out there, Pike Road, Alabama, at the Word of Life Ministry. His telephone number is 334-868-3881. 334-868-3881. My telephone number is 503-362-5899. My email address is Truman, Truman, at herbalhealthreview.com. Please visit the website herbalhealthreview.com and join and donate. Please help us to grow and help more people. Thank you. Let's open up all the microphones now in the dial pad meeting room over there. Go over here on the controls, unmute all the microphones, and all praises. Oh my goodness, it's a lot. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. We had to mute the microphone that was
All praises to the Most High God.
Most High, brothers and sisters. All praises to the Most High. Bless
Thank you,
you.
Dr. Truman. Thank you, Prophet Elijah. Blessings.
All praise to the Most High.
All praises to the Most High. Thank you so much. Say thank you.
All praises to the Most High. Thank you very much, Truman.
All praises to the Most High. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I would like to get this to